Alright, GOT Season 6, Episode 8. The episode is titled No One. There are 5 main things that happen in this episode. I'm going to try to touch very briefly on them. I'm going to try to keep this video short. As most of you know, not feeling real great, but I did want the show to go on, so let's try to get through this. So, the show starts and ends with Arya, and it's a very powerful moment in Arya's existence here. She has been stabbed. She finds refuge with the acting troupe, with the main actress specifically, that she saved her life, which, so it's like, you know, the wheel, it's all coming back around. She saved the actress's life, now the actress is going to save her life. She does find refuge there for a short time, and is able to heal a little bit, not all the way, unfortunately, because the waif does find her there. The waif kills the actress, and very clearly says that this was the way things were meant to be, that the many-faced god was promised this name, and now it's been given, but there's one more name that's been waiting, and basically has this whole Terminator run through the city, very specifically targeting Arya, as they fly through the city and like jump and cartwheel and all this stuff, leading up to where Arya's been hiding, and it's very kind of poetic because we find that this fight that's going to take place, this final like death match as it were, it takes place in the dark. Something that in the beginning of this season, that was Arya's existence, and so she's gotten to this point because of everything that's happened to her. At one point, her and the actress are talking about what she's going to do next after she heals, what's her plan. And she has this whole, like, travel the world thing going on, which I hate that plan. Because we all know that everything that she's been doing has just been to get her home. She just needs to go home. She needs to be with her family. She's stronger with her friend, like with her people, than she's going to be on her own. And she is a very strong person. She could go anywhere. She could do anything. But really what's best for her is going to be with her family. At least I think. We'll see. In the end, Arya does kill the waif. She gets to her title of No One, and then she's like, shove it. I don't want it. I am Arya Stark, and I'm going back to Westeros. I'm going home. And that's kind of the whole point. Because in this whole thing, to be no one, none of them is no one. The waif very specifically sets out from the beginning to get rid of Arya. She hates her. So she's not really being no one. The other guy, I can't remember his name now. He's like probably better at it than any of the other ones, but even his whole thing, he's definitely playing favorites. He definitely has a side that he's picked, and he's trying to go through the motions, but he's not really fulfilling his destiny either. Next, we happen upon Sir Gregor getting his revenge against the people who attacked the missionaries in the church that they were building. He has very clearly been trying to take this path of peace and just, not resistance. He's just trying to build a new life for himself and not be the person he was before. But it's kind of clear to him and everyone around him that this is who he is. He is a knight. I love that he's got this underlying chivalry that just kind of like it's just below the surface. Like on the outside, he just wants to be a giant a-hole, and really he's this like chivalrous knight that he really inside he's a good guy, and he's been ordered to do a lot of really bad things, but he doesn't really appreciate all those things. He ends up saying at one point that a lot of horrible shit gets done in this world for something larger than ourselves. And that's him kind of saying, I've been ordered to do all of these horrible things. None of them did I want to do, but everybody had a plan. Everybody thought they were doing the right thing. And now I just want to do my own thing. But for him, what's going to work out best for him is probably going to be continuing to be this knight and follow this fighting path that he's led his whole life. Tyrion is the most famous dwarf in the world, and I love that line. I just think it's so funny. Sends Varys out on a secret mission. We don't know what this mission is yet, but We do know that Varys is going back to Westeros, so we're going to see where that leads in the next episodes. We do find that Tyrion gets time to bond with Grey Worm and Melisandre, and really gets them to open up a little bit and just let down their guard, which is nice to see. We do find that Meereen is under attack. It's under siege by the slaveholders. They are not going to fulfill their end of the bargain. They don't want 7 years. They just want their slaves. They want them forever. But unfortunately for them, Dany is back, and we'll have to see what steps she takes to retake the city and to get rid of the slavers. I have to say, I really thought that it was going to be the Greyjoys sailing in with all of their ships. I was a little surprised that it was the slavers, so that's interesting. Alright, so the other two things that happen in this episode, Searcy is asked to go talk to the High Sparrow and very clearly says that she's not leaving the Red Keep and this will not be happening. She chooses violence, as it were. Shocker to all of us, I know. But she has made it very clear where her position is. She is really, really hoping that she can pick trial by combat. And this makes it very clear that this is her plan. It's been her plan all along. And then we find that Tommen, her beloved son, has decreed that there will be no more trial by combat. He's really taken his mom's ace out of the hole, and now she will have to face a real trial of her, not even her peers, but of the sparrows. And that is not likely to go well for her, because every time that she's ever gone up against the sparrows, it's not really ended up in her favor. And she doesn't have a lot of friends left to lean on anymore. She's not the queen. It's been very clear that she is not the queen. She is not going to be by the king's side anymore, that she has been designated off to the sidelines, which is a place that Searcy has not been in a long time. She's used to being in charge and having very powerful allies, and that's just not the case anymore. So we'll have to see kind of what happens around that. And then probably my favorite part of this whole episode was seeing Brienne and Jamie together. They very clearly have feelings for each other, but the lives that they are leading are not going to let them ever act on those feelings. But to see them interact is just so touching. They probably would really like to be together, but that's just not in the cards for them. So to see them interact, it's just very, very heartfelt. And I love it. I love to see the way they talk to each other. Brienne tries to give Jamie's sword back, and he very clearly says that it is meant for her and he wants her to keep it, which is it's a big thing. This is something that, it's a Valyrian steel sword. There's probably a handful of them left in the world. And even though Jamie doesn't know how badly he's going to need it, he is clearly saying that this is a gift. It wasn't a loan. It wasn't anything else, that he wants her to have it and keep it. And that's a huge step. Also, Brienne goes to meet the Blackfish. She is unfortunately unsuccessful in getting him to surrender, which would be a huge step for Sansa. But Jamie does figure out sort of a loophole and gets Edmure, who I still cannot see as anything but Frank, sorry, to give up the castle by taking his place as the rightful lord of Riverrun. This causes the Blackfish to rebel, but the soldiers are under Edmure's command, and so they are forced to lay down their weapons, and the Blackfish is killed. But he is able to help Brienne and Pod escape. And there's another very touching moment where Brienne is escaping, and Jamie sees her and very clearly lets her go, lets her escape. So it's very, very, very sweet that it's his way of saying, we may be fighting on the scene or on different sides now, but I still care and I still don't want to see you dead, which is a big thing in Game of Thrones, we all know. So that is my wrap up of episode 8, No One. I really hope y'all like it. I tried to keep it short and sweet this time. We've got the final 2 episodes coming up very soon, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do them together yet or not, but we'll see how it goes, and depending on all the things that happen, I might have to do them separately. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon, guys.